Hey guys, it's Zimra and welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the books that I read in January. I read about 10 books, honestly 12. The thing is I haven't finished those 2 books. I'm reading them right now. Still January when I'm filming this, but by the time that this video comes up, I already finished those books. So honestly, I read a total about 12 books in the month of January, and we're going to be going through all of them in order of when I read them and my ratings and what I think about them and if I think you should read it or not. And yeah, let's get started. So the first book that I read in January is Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros, and oh my god. So this book came out last year, but I was too afraid. I was like, oh my god, this is so much. This is too much for me because I'm not a big fantasy girly at all. I read the ACOTAR series and that was about it, and I enjoyed them, but I wasn't like involved in the whole world. Like I wasn't into it a lot, even though some of them I did give it 5 stars, but still it just was. I was very scared of getting into Fourth Wing because all book talk and everyone was like going insane for this book, and I was just like, oh, it's gonna be overhyped, and I didn't want to get into it like, oh my god, it's gonna be the best book that I've ever read in my whole entire life. But I did get into it and I decided to read it and give it a chance, and let me tell you, oh my god, like I fell in love. It's like I can't stop thinking about it. Every single time I read it, every single time I think about it, I can't stop. It's just like Violet and Xaden are the love of my life, and it's just like amazing. I loved it because it was giving Divergent, and I love those movies. Like it's my most amazing thing, and the dragons and everything. So overall, this book was a total of 5 stars. Honestly, infinity, if I'm being honest with you. This book was the most amazing book that I've read in a while, especially when it comes to fantasy, because it usually takes me a very long time to get into the world building and stuff, but I felt like it was super easy with the world building, and it was super easy to read. You were just going at it like every chapter. I did not want to put it down. I think I read those like 800 pages in like 2 days, which that's crazy that it happened, but I really enjoyed it. It was just so good. I can't even explain it. And the dragons, I thought I was gonna be like weirded out by it, but I love the whole story plot line. It's just like so good. And you should definitely read it. I totally recommend. So the second book that I read in January, of course following Fourth Wing, is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros, which this book I gave it a 4 star, but I'm gonna tell you why. The book started amazing because Fourth Wing ended up as such a cliffhanger that you were just like, I need to know. And good thing for me, I didn't have to wait like everybody else for the next book to come out because I hadn't read it by then. So when I was reading Fourth Wing, Iron Flame was already out, so I was just going straight to it. So it was amazing. The pacing was super good at the beginning, and then towards the end, like towards the middle end, it was losing me a little bit because Xaden and Violet were fighting over the same thing over and over and over again, and I just like I was getting fed up. I was just like, it's not like, get it together, like just communicate. Like it's not that hard, I promise you. Which, okay, I still enjoyed it, and don't get me wrong, super good, but then the end of the book got so good. So I feel like that's why I gave it 4 star, because if not, I probably would have rated it less because it was just dragging. There was like so many things that I felt like didn't need to be said in the book. I don't know, in my opinion, but overall, like, you don't understand the feelings that I have towards this whole series. Is just amazing. I can't wait for the next book to come out whenever it comes out because I just need to read it. I need to buy the physical books. Like I've never felt this much about a book. I've been telling all my friends to read it. Like my cousin, I'm like, girl, you need to read it, and she's like, it's so long, and I was like, I promise you it's worth it. This whole series is worth it. I mean, I know that some people don't like it, but I honestly enjoyed it. I like the first one better than the second one, but the second one was still so good, and how it ended, I need to know. I need to know what happens next. There's no way. Like, sign me up for the next book. So overall, this whole series, I feel like this whole series overall is like a 5 star, but Fourth Wing is a 5 star, and then Iron Flame is a 4 star. But those books, I still can't like think about it. Like every single time TikTok comes up on my For You page, I'm just like, I need to know more. So overall, that was really good. Third book that I read, I'm looking down, is Play It Hard by Michelle Hercules, which this was my first 3-star of the year because I didn't really like it, but it was fast-paced enough for me to give it 3 stars because I did have a good time reading it, but overall I did not relate to the characters. It didn't do anything for me. It was fast-paced. It was really easy to read if you were like in a slump or whatever, but overall it shocked me what the book was about because I thought it was a hockey romance. I think it was a hockey romance. Yes, a hockey romance. But then all of a sudden it turned into a dark mafia book-ish thing, and I'm like so confused about what was going on half of the time because it was just super weird. So I wouldn't really recommend it. If you want to read it, that's really up to you. But we have Blair and Alex. It was good. It was going really good, and then it just started going sideways, and I don't know what happened, and that's why I don't really want to talk about it. So overall, I wouldn't recommend this book. It was a 3-star. I was so confused. I don't know what was going on, but I am excited about the third book that might come out of the series because I'm excited to read Blair's brother's love story. So I'm very excited for that. That's all I'm saying. So I will read the series, but this book just wasn't it. The 4th book that I read in January, I can't believe, because this book is like my whole entire life. Like I can't even start. It was Love Redesigned by Lauren Asher. And let me tell you, she did great with this book because I never really have felt so much in my life. Like I cried, I laughed, I fell in love, but like to a deeper level that I never thought I would be. Like Lauren like went insane with this book. And I just love books where they speak Spanish, and especially all her books. I just love I love this. So Julian is the love of my life, and I can't even begin to explain how bad this man is. I need to buy the physical book. If you guys don't know me, I read all my books on ebooks. I don't have space for any more books. I'm hoping one day when I have my own apartment that I can buy all the books that I've read throughout my whole life because there's so many that I want to buy that I've like loved. But Julian is the love of my life. Dahlia deserves the whole world, and she reminded me a lot about me, which is insane. She just got out of an engagement and she moves back to her hometown, which is Julian's hometown, and they're still rivals. They're still banter. They hate each other, which I love when they act like they hate each other, but they're actually like so in love with each other. It's actually insane, especially with Julian. Like that man, you would think he's like so hard and like grumpy and stuff, but like he's so in love with her and he will do anything for her, and I just can't even begin to explain it. So Dahlia's an interior designer, and after she broke up the engagement with her not husband, ex-fiance, she moves back to her hometown, and she's just going through it. She doesn't know what she's doing in life. She's confused, and Julian's parents with Dahlia's parents are very good friends, and they make a plan to make Julian help her to like build a house and like design it and everything, and they go through there, and that's how the story picks up, and it's just super good. I totally recommend it. I gave it literally infinity stars. This book is just the most amazing thing. I would say go into it blind. It's so good, it's amazing, and I totally recommend it. And Lauren Asher really did go all out for this book, and I can't wait for the next book in the series because it's Raphael's and the Nanny and the book. So good. I totally recommend. So the 5th book that I read in January is Falling Off the Cliff by Kay. I can't say her last name. I'm so sorry. It's right here. This book is about Tiago. I don't know how to pronounce his name, in Camare, and it's a Formula One romance, which I love Formula One, especially since I'm a big fan of the sport, and I always will be. And I love reading romance. I don't read as much romance about F1 as I used to because I read the whole Dirty Air series by Lauren Asher, and then I kind of stopped reading romance about Formula One. But this book, I started on my favorite page, and I was like, I need to read it. So I think I gave it a 4 star. I believe so. I give it a 4 star to this book because hear me out. It's in third point of view, and I hate third point of view. Like I can't do it. It's really hard for me to envision myself. I like to see the person's like thoughts and everything together in their head, and like, so it was very hard for me to read at times, but I thought it was very easy to like understand what was going on, and super fun and so spicy. I kid you not, like it was out of this world. And I just, it reminded me so much like Lando Norris. Like I envisioned Lando Norris like full on. It's so good. You're getting all the feelings about Formula One, the race, like being a wag in Formula One. It's just like, it felt so good and super fun to read, because I was like getting into a reading slump, and I read that and it was like made it better. So I totally recommend to read it. Even if you don't like third person point of view like me, I think you should definitely give it a try, especially if you like sports romance. This is a very good book to read, so I totally recommend. Sixth book that I read in January is Unravel Me by Beck and Mac, and this book was so good. It is a hockey romance, duh, NHL. I believe it's NHL, or no, it's NHL, yeah. I was like, it's college romance. They're not in college. I am so sorry. So this book follows Adam and Rosie. Rosie has a kid, so just so you know, she has a beautiful son, and he's the most cutest kid ever, because usually it's a hit or miss when the character has a child, because they might be annoying or they're just super sweet. But this kid was the most cutest kid in the whole entire world, and I just loved it so much. I can't even like begin to say. Adam is the love of my life. That man was meant to be a step parent, just like a parent overall. It was just so cute how he fell in love with her. I will say it was like really insta romance, like insta love, but it was really good. I totally recommend. I think I gave it a 4-star. I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4-star. The friend group, I did, if you haven't seen my read for 24 hours with me, I did read this book. I'm gonna put the video right here, so if you want to like in-depth review is in that video. But overall, the whole story was super good. The friend group is amazing, and one of the most funniest people ever. I've never laughed so much while reading a book. It was just really good. The 7th book that I read in January is King of Pride, which I read it in the reading vlog of Reading With Me for 24 hours. So my whole review is on there if you want to see. But I rated this book a 4-star. Duh. I tried to read this book like last year, and I just couldn't get into it because I didn't relate to it at the moment. But I read it this time, and it was Isabella and Kai are just opposites attract, but like it was so good. Yeah, I didn't really knew much about Kai. Like he was still like a mystery to me. There was like a lot of rich people problems, so it wasn't like the best overall book, but I did give it a 4-star because it made me laugh, and I like related to Isabella so much. It was just very good and easy, and I'm looking down to see what I wrote. I'm so bad at this. It was a bit boring at parts, because like one of my least favorites, that's what I was trying to say. So overall, yeah, it was fun, easy to read, like super easy to read. I gave it a 4-star, and yeah, it was really good. The 8th book that I read is King of Pride by Anna Huang. This book was one of my favorites. Honestly, this was the most anticipated one that I was trying to read of the whole series, because I liked King of Wrath, but it wasn't my favorite. I think I gave it a 5 stars. I'm pretty sure. I don't remember. But King of Pride is 4. But King of Greed, I gave it a 4-star, which now thinking about it, I should have given it a 5-star because I really liked it. But the thing is, I gave it a 4 because I needed more of the book. I wanted more groveling. So this book follows Dominic and Alexandra, which is a marriage in trouble. The whole book, I've been like dying to know about their love story and what happened between them. So they were best friends since they were little, and since they went to college together, and they fell in love, and he became a millionaire, blah blah blah, CEO, the man of my dreams. But Dominic started forgetting about her. Like he was too busy and focusing on making money and making sure that he's always at the top. And he had a beautiful woman with him, Alexandra, but she felt like she was being forgotten, that he was forgetting her, that he didn't put any effort in their relationship, which was super sad. I cried a lot during this book. I don't know why. I was in the motions. I was feeling a lot at the time, I guess. This book was so good. It when they like they got a divorce, I was like bawling my eyes out because he was like, oh, like I love you, like I'm so sorry. And I was like, I would have forgave him the second that he like got on his knees and like started like telling her, please don't leave me. Like I would have been like, oh my god, I'll take you back. But it was super good. The 9th book that I read in January is Binding 13 by Chloe Walsh, and I don't even know how to explain this book because it's like such a part of me now. Like I can't even begin to explain it. So this story follows Johnny and Shannon. Oh my god, they're just the best. So Shannon was, her whole life she's been bullied in her school really badly, so you should definitely search up the trigger warnings for this book. That's why I was very afraid of reading it, because I was like, it's gonna hit too close to home, or like it's gonna be very emotional, and I'm a very emotional reader, so I feel everything that the words on the paper are saying. Shannon gets bullied in every school she goes to. It's really bad. She has a lot of trouble at home. I'm not gonna spoil it for you. You should definitely read it yourself. But then she moves to Boys of Thomond, aka Thomond College, which that's what they call high school in Ireland, because this book is based in Ireland. Then she moves into this private school because she's been getting bullied really bad, and then something happens when the first day that she goes into the new college, and she meets Johnny, which is a rugby player, which honestly I had no idea what rugby was till I read the book. So something happens between them, and he is in love with her since the first second. I just want to say that. He likes her, he's interested, he's like curious about her, he wants to know anything about her, and he'll protect anything, and he'll protect her over anything and everyone. So this book was super good, super emotional. I cried a lot. The ending of this book, I was bawling my eyes out. I've never cried so much reading a book in my whole entire life. So it's one of those books that if you have Binding 13, you have to have Keeping 13 right the second minute, because I literally finished Binding 13 and I ran to read Keeping 13, which is the second book following their love story. The second book might have been my whole time favorite, like infinity stars for this book. The whole 2 books are like infinity stars. This whole series is just infinity stars overall. Like nobody can tell me anything different, because I feel like those books are my babies and I will do anything to keep them. So Keeping 13 was insane. I cried so much. I went through so much reading it. Johnny goes through so much, Shannon goes through so much, and the whole friend group, they just have such a deep connection, and they're just all there for each other through everything that they go through. And overall it was insane. I can't even explain how these books have made my life like so much better. Like it was so good. I don't even know, I could keep talking about this forever and for the rest of my whole entire life. But overall, those 2 books were infinity stars. So that is the 9th and 10th book that I read in January. The 11th book that I'm reading right now is the 3rd book in the series, which is Save and Six by Chloe Walsh, which follows Joey and Ophi. I think that's how you say their name. I'm reading the book right now. I'm still not done. I have like a few chapters left. But I was so interested to read about Joey's love story with Aofi, because Joey has always been the one to defend Shannon in school and getting in trouble because of her, to save her and always be there for her. And he's like such an older brother to her. And I just really wanted to understand why he was always pictured as the bad boy, the one that has no control, and he has like anger issues and all that stuff. And I just felt so bad for him, because I was like, he's a really good guy and he really cares for his sister. But I want to know what he's going through, because their whole life is really messed up and he's really messed up, and I really wanted to know why he went through and everything. And Aofi is the most sweetest girl ever, and she is so confident in herself, and if she wants something she'll get it. And their both love story is just really good, and I love how it's going back and forth of like through every year that they've been in school, and how they got to know each other and when they met up and all that stuff. And their love story is just deeper than Shannon and Johnny's. Like I kid you not, like it's 10 times better. I really like this book better. Don't get me wrong, the first 2 books, Binding 13 and Keeping 13, are my favorites. Like, this whole series world is so good. So I am reading 7 6. The next book that I'm gonna be reading this month in January is Redeeming 6, which still follows Joey and Aofi. But by the time that this video comes out, I already read them. So I feel like these 2 books are just gonna be 5 stars and more in infinity. This whole series is gonna be infinity. Like, I just love them so much, and it's just amazing to read about this. So I feel like Chloe Walsh really did good in writing this book. I love them so much, and I don't know how I never got to read them before, because these books have been out for a bit, and the fact that I didn't read them before and now I'm getting to read them for the very first time is just amazing. I really love them. So those are all the books that I read in January. I read 12 books, which is insane, because I honestly, my January TBR was literally 5 books, and I was like, oh, they're long books, it's gonna take me a while to like get into them and read them. No, I read so many books this month, and honestly, I'm kind of proud of myself, but I'm hoping by next month I take it slow a little bit. But yeah, if you like this video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe, turn your bell on. My social medias are down below, and if you want to follow me on Goodreads, it's linked down below too. And if you have any ideas for me to do any other videos like reading vlogs or how much I read in a week and stuff like that, let me know in the comments, and I can't wait to see you next time. Bye.